and welcome to the History House Museum, Torbay History House Museum in Torbay, Newfoundland. I'm Donna, I'm the curator manager here at the History House. We opened in 2022 and this is our fifth year, going on fifth year of operations. So welcome to the History House. We're going to start in here. This is the Torbay History House in the World, where we have quite a number of artifacts and information that we've gathered about the town when it was incorporated. The History House Museum used to be the presbytery of the church. The priests lived here, and as we go further on, I'll show you a picture of the old stone church that we have that was the beginning of the Catholic religious information in the town of Torbay. As we go farther, we did a representation of the stage, the old fishing stage that it is in most traditional Newfoundland towns. Then we have Torbay at War, where we've had various incidents and artifacts from when the province and Newfoundland was in during war. Up on the ceiling we have the Merchant Navy flag. And then over here in the corner we have exploration and discovery. So we have a variety of artifacts here. And we have the skis from the Victor Campbell, who was a part of the Terra Nova Antarctic expedition. And so we've done a couple of exhibits on him in particular. We've also got all the exciting things that people do in Newfoundland Labrador outside, and the camping and everything that they do. So if you want to follow me into the song and story room. We can start with the Torbay Song and Story. Most Newfoundlanders have music in their bones, and Torbay is no exception. We have quite a lot of artifacts, and we've decided to represent the various music and artifacts from the town of Torbay and the performers within the town. Here along the wall, we have a representation of the Newfoundland Ugly Stick and the fiddle from our fiddler Goss, who is well known in the area for playing music. And then as we go this way, we have a lot of folk art, rustic art, primitive art. Harry Sullivan was very well known in Torbay as somebody who collected a lot of different objects and created caricatures of what Newfoundlanders were like. His art is quite well known, and he lived just down the road, and we'd sell his artwork out of his back window. So people would drive up and want to collect something. So that was one of we have more on display, or more that we could put on display, so we do rotate those out every so often. So here we have a representation of the stained glass windows from the church and the convent. So this museum began in 1988 by Jerry Pellegrinetti, and it began with the donation of the church. The convent, they were going to tear down the convent, so the convent ladies and the nuns said, well, we'd like to donate our objects. So they have stained glass, furniture, and everything, and that's when the Torbay Museum and the Town Hall started, and we are a continuation of that process. So we take great pride in the fact that we've continued on from Jerry Pellegrinetti's work. And as we go forward, we decided to also showcase the Presentation Sisters. So the St. Michael's Convent was literally right down the road from us. So as you can see from the picture up here on top, the big white building is the church. Next to it is the one with the little roof over to the right left is the convent of where the ladies would live. So, and this is various convents, pictures, and various nuns that lived and worked in this area, Sister Raymond. And this was the original picture of the convent here. As we go forward towards your left, these are the model ships and dories of the era and of what fishing was like around Newfoundland. These are the pictures and fish, wooden art that people would do in their spare time as they were waiting for weather to clear or that type of thing in their ships. So this is what we have represented. And then we have a representation of an old hooked rug that was that was on the floor in somebody's home. So this is what we've got as part of our display here. We've got an old sewing machine and the accoutrement that goes with it for various well represented, used widely in all types of Newfoundland homes. And so that's one of the representations. And as you go along, you might see an apron or other objects made with showing more Newfoundland art. So as we go through here, this is our domestic wall. This is showing a representation of an outport home. So we have the washing board, the china that people would have for the guests. This is the priest's china set very well. They would only take that out when the bishop came to town. Here we have a variety of objects that you would find within a kitchen in a Newfoundland home. Over here we have something with the mustache cup. So as you look for, there's a little lip here for the mustache to prevent it from getting wet from the tea, or preventing the mustache from going into the tea. So, and then these pictures are of actual Torbay residents at the time, and a lot of the ladies that lived in Torbay worked domestically and would go down to St. John's to work there. A fair amount of them would work here for the priests during their, when they needed help with housekeeping or cooking or whatever, would have the garden work, that type of thing. So, and here's one of the textiles. So this is an embroidered apron that we have in our collection that we wanted to showcase. And this was done by somebody probably during winter to make something pretty out of a useful tool. And we wanted to let people know that it's there. So as we go this way, we have quite a lot of pictures of Torbay. Various items that people, old pictures of an arch that's no longer in there. We have a map of the John Mason's map. So, and here we have a picture of Torbay within the 1930s. Another one here representing around the 1930s. This one says 1880. But the East Coast Trail wanders through Torbay. This is a picture of the blessing of the fleet. And this is the old stone church that I mentioned earlier. This is the original Roman Catholic church. It is no longer here, but this was the one that started it all. Then next to that was the convent, and next to that was the big giant white church, and then the priest's house was the final one down the road. And again, this is at the Torbay Airport during when it became an actual airport and not part of the naval. Okay, this is at the Torbay Airport, and this is during the time when it became public use instead of military use. And that concludes the tour of the first floor.
The Mumfords.
Oh, sorry. Come on this way.
Do that.
Over here, Torbay Arts and Culture Hall of Fame. This is where we have 7 inductees into the Hall of Fame. This is an annual event that was begun last year, and we have included all of the people that lived, worked, or performed in the town of Torbay. Every year we're going to ask for new inductees and see how we can fill up the wall. But this is how we celebrate music and art and culture in Torbay. Then if you come along here, we have the largest collection of memorabilia in the province. Professor Emeritus Paul Smith donated his collection to the town of Torbay before he moved back to England. And we have made use of what we could fit into the stairwell as you go up onto the stairs. And what he has done people would give him all types of mummers as he collected them. So it's quite a variety: Christmas ornaments, rug hooking, paintings, and the collection is the largest in the province, and we're only showing about a third of it. So we have far more in storage that we will rotate in and out. So thank you. I'm passing you on to Hannah Cooper, who is my assistant and the museum registrar. So she's going to take over the tour from here.
Hi, so I'm Hannah, and welcome to our exhibit portion of our museum here. Up here you will see our rug hooking exhibit. This is made by 16 different artists. You can see all of their names right here. Some have more, some have less. For example, in this room alone is just a lady named Ernestine's, whereas some other artists only have a few. Some are for sale, some are not. But their entire exhibit is actually in honor of a lady named Kate Thornhill, and done by the Grounds Cafe Hookers. So they do a lot of different exhibits, just like, yeah, so you can see like there's a lot of different materials that people would do it. Some do rugs, some do pillows, some do traditional kind of fabric rug hooking, some do yarn. For example, this is like a tufting technique as opposed to a more traditional, this is actually, you'd see like a table runner.
Yeah. Are you doing arts, crafts?
So we do some arts and crafts for the locals here. We do some teaching for small children from the Holy Trinity Elementary come over. We also do some adults will come over to do some stuff as well. A lot of pop-ups occasionally. We'll do, if there's an event going on, we'll have some. We have something called the Mayor's Garden Party coming up in a few weeks. So that will have a fair bit. Similarly, we have a Pride in July Fest, which will also have some kind of activities and stuff for kids to do. Yeah. This one right here, actually, this is a particularly pretty one because this was based off of a painting. So you can see the very high detail in the hair, in the cage, with the birds. Very, and it was a lot of work. The lady who made it, Diane Warren, she kind of chuckled a bit and she said she's not going to sell this one because she was told that if she wanted to sell it, there wouldn't be enough money in the world to get it. Similarly, you can see more different styles here. We have a woven, you can get the bags, there's actual same artist. You can see that there's baskets and such. This is Elizabeth Belvin. She uses also a lot of the trees. So there's all different techniques, but it's all the same group who work together and kind of inspire each other to do it.
Are they from around here?
Yep, all around, just different areas, basically just a group that meet predominantly at the Grounds Cafe. And after this exhibit is over, they will actually be having another exhibit at the Grounds Cafe. So,
how many exhibits do you have per year?
It always is changing, depending on who wants to have something. Prior to this, we actually had high school students come over, the high school art program, and they had a bunch of stuff on display. After the rugs come down, we're going to have a lady named Virginia. She's going to be having some of her art. That's Virginia Houston. In Christmas time, during Christmas time, the whole top floor is kind of booked out for something called the Festival of Trees, which is we actually have full-size Christmas trees everywhere, and local groups can come up and decorate those. So it kind of always varies. We'll always have something new on the go, depending on who wants to display something. I've actually had a few different jobs at the museum. So technically I started last year as a research student. Then after that I became a museum educator, so like a teacher essentially. And now I'm the heritage coordinator and museum registrar. So in the span of the year I've kind of done little bits of everything. And then in the archive room, this is where our current museum assistant is. He's our summer research student, and his name is Ryan Christopher. In here in the dark.
Hi. So my name is Ryan Christopher. I am the current museum assistant at the Torbay History House. So in here where I'm to, this is the archive room. So there are a lot of documents and records relating to the history of Torbay, more so in the genealogy of Torbay. So one aspect of this job that's pretty cool is that I get to help people discover their roots or family history. There's a number of research tactics that come with the job that are fairly enjoyable. One of the highlights is if someone comes in from away and they want to learn more about Newfoundland or Torbay, we can provide them with some more information, such as the books you see here, which feature a lot of Newfoundland history. The genealogy aspect, which, like in the family of Newfoundland names, features a lot of predominant names from families such as Poochco, Flat Rock, Bali, and other communities around the northeast Avalon. It's a really good job, and yeah, it's very nice.
What are the benefits of working with heritage?
I would say the benefits of working with heritage are discovery and research. For me personally, it's nice to know that how places came to be from what they were. My own family is from Torbay, so when I first started, it was nice to kind of have Donna and Hannah and the other staff help with, the research on my family, and that kind of led me to wanting to help others and, just discovering more about the town and just how the community came to be. So I would say the museum is an important aspect of the town of Torbay. And if anybody ever wants to come in and learn more about their family or any history in general, we likely have a lot of information on your family here.
Where do you go to get more information? Do you go outside Torbay as well? For example, do you go to the National Archives?
Yep, so we have the Provincial Archives here in Newfoundland, which is down at the Rooms. That is the biggest archives in the province. Well, it's the Provincial Archives. There's also the Archives at Memorial University, which is similar to the Archives at the Rooms. They both contain a bunch of documents and historical records that many can look into depending on what their research interest is. The Rooms has a lot of archive staff as well as MUN that can help develop a certain interest or a research project, and both offer a wide range of services outside of the archives as well.
We need to introduce your colleague, the gentleman.
Derek.
You need to say, I would like...
Yeah, so outside of this, we also have some arts and culture, and that's usually hosted by our community outreach assistant, Derek Dymond. So I will go introduce you to him. So this is Derek, and Derek is our cultural outreach assistant.
Hi, how are you?
How long have you been here?
I've been here pretty well since we opened full-time. That would have been 3 years ago. I usually book events, musicians for music events and everything over the summer. Plus, I'm also kind of an assistant here at the museum, so I pretty well put my fingers into a little bit of everything. Whatever needs to be done.
You're doing a lot of field work.
Yes, we started our oral history project where we interview members of the community and record their memories of growing up in Torbay and the different things that were going on in Torbay. So, really interesting project, and I found out I've learned a lot, and we hope to make it all available to the public then for future, so people can come in and do some research.
Are you from around here?
I live in Torbay, yes. I've been a resident of Torbay now for 52 years.
How would you say Torbay changed and evolved?
Well, mostly it's grown, for sure. When I first moved to Torbay, there was no council or anything. But it's a growing community. It's an energetic community. We have lots of good people here. We have lots of talented musicians, performers, artists, and that's the biggest thing that I see.
This summer, what events do you have?
Well, out here at History House, out on our back deck, every Wednesday evening from July 2nd to August 30th, basically, we will be having performances live out on our deck at the back. Sunday afternoons down on our Fiddlers Goss and Jennings stage at Torbay Beach. We'll be having music every Sunday afternoon. On Tuesday nights we are doing music events over at Torbay Common. Plus we have various garden parties here. The Mayor's Garden Party is next week. And we'll always be doing some events over the summer, like Pride in July. We'll be doing our multicultural festival here soon. So there's always something happening here in Torbay. Let's go out now and we'll join our colleagues and we'll wrap everything up here. Where are we? Now downstairs.
So this is the crew of Torbay History House. We have Derek, Ryan, Hannah, and myself as the manager, and we welcome any visitors. Please stop by. We're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We do open for various events if needed on Sundays, but those don't happen very often. And on special holidays, we are normally closed, but it depends on what's going on. We have a couple of events coming up shortly. Mayor's Garden Party on July 6th, and we have Pride in July on July 12th. So come on over, take a visit. You can find out our information on the Town of Torbay website, and look for Torbay History House. We also have a variety of information that you can find. Our website is in the process of being finished, but it will be up and running very shortly. So please stop by, make a visit, and we welcome you at any point in time.
See y'all soon. Stop by for a visit.
That's right. Thank you very much.